Good afternoon, guys. Oh, my beloved angels. This is Ginger. I know you haven't heard from me in a while, but I've been going through some major shifts and changes, including my address. But that's the way of things here in Crestone, Colorado. People get moved around a lot unless you have property here. Um, but I've been meaning to talk to you guys about this for some time. I received this incredible healing about 3 weeks ago, I believe it was. This healer showed up at the farm I was formerly living at. And he had this crystal light bed and a lot of tools, as in stones of different kinds. And he offered to give me a healing at the hot springs. And I didn't realize what kind of healing it would be until I got there. So we picked up another healer in town here. We have a plethora of healers here in Crestone, Colorado. Yes, we do, along with Buddhists and other spiritual people seeking enlightenment, people seeking peace, really. Anyhow, back to the hot springs. Okay, I know that I had healed the inner child before I can go forward. That's my big healer, and then my body will get on board with that. And that's the way it works, because the abuse of the inner child and then the continued abuse because it wasn't healed created the physical ailments that I have. And I don't talk about those, but they are debilitating. It's, well, the illnesses, the physical illnesses that one suffers from narcissistic abuse can be very crippling, although a lot of them are considered invisible illnesses, like, PTSD, but, there's other things that come with PTSD, like chronic fatigue, um, fibromyalgia, um, arthritis, eczema. Yeah, I have eczema. I have all those. So that's my physical ailments. Anyhow, getting back to the healing. So, the healer, he decided to get us a private room in the hot springs so that we could work. No idea what we're gonna do. And so we go in, and we all get in the hot water, and I'm sitting there, and they're around me, holding me, supporting me. And I feel this rush of energy. He hands me these two stones. I feel this rush of energy coming up my central channel, which, if you're not familiar with that, there's a central channel that goes through the chakra system called the Sushumna. And then there's two energy channels that run back and forth, Ida and Pingala, the masculine and the feminine Kundalini energy. Okay. These energies entered me here, my solar plexus. Massive amount of stuff moved up to my heart chakra. When it got to here, it was like waterworks. I was crying. I was feeling so much pain. And then up to my throat chakra and up. And then it came in again. And I was crying, and they told me, let it go, let it go. And so I did. I let it go. So the next thing I see is myself as a little child standing in front of me, in front of my face, saying, I was never allowed to speak. And then the child was crying. The child was angry. The healer said, hug that child, give her all your love. Because I voiced what the child said to me. I voiced it out loud, and the healer said, love the child. And so I did. But what I never expected was what happened next. As I began to love the child and rock the child and tell her that she was loved and worthy of better than what she got, and that, she is now healed, I began to go back to abusive situations with this child. Those abusive situations were only there for a moment. Suddenly, the whole thing began to change. My mother, who was beaten down by my narcissistic father, was suddenly a loving mother, a healed mother, not a mentally sick mother, a well, loving, attentive mother who loved this child and took care of her and watched over her and took care of her needs. More and more situations came to my consciousness during this time. And I began to turn them around and create alternate realities. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm so excited about it. If this could be some kind of PTSD healing for other warriors of the light that are ready to heal. Yes, I believe that you have to be absolutely in touch with this child before you go through any type of rebirthing situation like this, which I've never experienced. This is my first. I've looked online, I've heard about alternate realities in the Seth material, Jane Roberts. I tried before creating alternate realities with other people, and things didn't click. So I think the healing waters and having someone there holding the space of energy. This lady healer that worked with me, I saw the light coming out of her hands. It was amazing. She was so good. But you have to be ready too. You have to already be. I've been talking to my inner child probably since 2009. I've been talking to this little wounded child that grew up with a poor narcissistic father who had been wounded, literally, physically, and even more mentally by World War II. And then my empathic mother, who was gifted, and he shut her down. He made her crazy. So she was healed. Yes, this healing is quantum. Not only does it affect you immediately, it affects your ancestors that have gone on. They're healed now. They don't have to come back and do the narcissistic dance or the crazy dance of letting somebody take your power because you're in love with them, like my mother. So about a week ago, some dear friends of mine I've been missing so much because they didn't get along with the lady whose farm I was living at. And, that's just another story. But anyhow, I have missed these people so much. So we finally went to the hot springs, and they were doing something with their dog, I think. And so I was able to get in the hot springs alone for a minute to see if I could do this healing myself without having two other healers facilitate it and be in a private place. I was in public, but nobody else was in the pool I was in, and it was pretty hot. And I sat there and I began to go into meditation as I grounded, and something big came up to be healed. it was the borderline that my narcissist had triangulated me with when we were just friends. And he was reeling me in, like a fisherman. But that borderline, because that's what happened. Anyhow, I made some notes, and I'm going to share with you those notes on that healing I experienced by myself in the hot springs. And I think you could do this work too. If anybody wants to go to the hot springs with me, of course they'll have to pay for their soak, and that's all it'll cost them. Of course, I don't have a vehicle. You'll have to come pick me up. You're in Crestone, Colorado. We will do a healing session, a rebirthing session, creating alternate realities to get rid of those traumas so that when they come up, it's like, what was that? That was a bad dream. That didn't happen. But anyhow, let me read you these notes. Okay, at the Joyful Hot Springs last week, I went into meditation and then asked my heart what needed to be healed. Asked my heart what needed to be healed. Okay. Let's call the borderline RK. Okay. RK came into my consciousness the day I met her and was attacked by her verbally. And I suffered a great loss of trust in my friend and a broken heart. Yeah, I did. I was in love with it and I didn't even know it. Because, my ex, father of my children, he abandoned me financially. And this man was buying me things, taking me out, taking me to church. So, anyway, actor the new reality, okay? We're just setting the stage and letting you know what happened. The old reality, I'm like canceling out. We could just paint it blue and say cancel, cancel, cancel. Okay? In my new reality, RK was visible because when I walked out of the door that morning, I looked in the car and I saw a figure in there, but it was black. It was just like a silhouette of a woman, black. And I was like, did he tint his car? Did he tint his windows? But no, he didn't. It was her aura. See, a black aura means somebody's angry. Anyhow, I didn't see her that way. I saw her sitting in the car looking beautiful. Let's call the narcissist E. Okay, E. She was clearly visible inside E's car. Okay, I get into the car and E introduces us. Okay, meet Ginger. RK turns around and we connect in a very loving and accepting manner. We chat and we laugh all the way to church. We go into the church happy and peaceful. She sits on one side of E and I sit on the other. She enjoys the service and we go out to eat at the Indian buffet. We used to always go out to eat at the Indian buffet after the Unity Church in Florida. They bring me home. I am peaceful and they are happy. See how much better story that is? It's wonderful. And I don't hate this lady anymore. Hallelujah. Okay. Okay, this is even better. Okay. This would cancel the whole relationship that I had to go through with him. I, Ginger, meet a loving man who sees me for the loving soul I am. and we become friends. I'm not talking, let's jump into bed. We become friends, okay? Good friends. I realized I'm not I almost said his name, sorry. I realized I'm not what E really wants, and I began to detach in a kind, peaceful, and compassionate way. Hey, hey, thanking E for his energy and presence in my life. His energy, his little, you know, things he gave me from the health food store that I needed, supplements, because I didn't have any money at all at that time. Um, I thank him for his energy and his presence in my life, but I tell him that I've met this special man that's a friend, and I would like to spend all my time with him. Um, and he wants to take me to church, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. Um, and spend time with me. E goes on with his life with RK or someone else who he finds enjoyable. How about that? Instead of me, getting blasted by the woman all the way to church and then running away, crying, getting my heart broken. And then the narcissist is reeling me in. This is a much better reality. Creating quantum realities. Mm-hmm. It's quantum. There's so many different realities. I'll give you an example. You've heard about the Mandela effect? Yes, the Mandela effect. How many movies have you seen lately? Older movies from the 90s? And there's scenes in there you don't remember? No, that's not you. That's the Mandela effect. Mm-hmm. They've created another reality. But anyhow, I just love it where I am now. I'm on the mountainside again. I was going to film outside, but the mosquitoes, they love me. I don't like, these mountain mosquitoes really love me. The ones in the south did too, but geez, these things almost tote me off, as they say in the south. It will tote you off. The wind's blowing. The thunder beings came a little while ago. Mm-hmm. That's for all the natives out there, indigenous people. I love you. I'm Cherokee. Anyway, even if I was a white woman totally, we'd still be one. We need all these Heyokas and the indigenous people. That's why, they seem to be, people are like negative and saying indigenous people are dying out. That's because they keep secrets. It's over. The time for keeping secrets is over. Because our healthcare system is a mess. I've tried both ways. I've tried healing and I've tried medication. What's better? Healing. Because medication doesn't do anything, it just covers over the surface. If you're, you know, most people that are listening to this are probably empaths, Heyokas, and they've been through hell and they suffer. And a lot of empaths are given, tranquilizers, antidepressants, yeah, stuff for ADD, ADHD, speed. Yeah. No, it doesn't fix the problem. In fact, the Adderall and stuff, I think it makes a person with ADD worse. They interrupt more. It's conversations. How people with ADD seem to interrupt conversations and because they have to get out what they want to say. I think it makes them more. I know that when I took that medication, I really craved coffee. It was like I couldn't get enough. And now I can't drink coffee at all. It just really irritates my nerves. I'm not a coffee drinker. But I'm babbling now. I love you guys. I wish I had more from Spirit for you. I just want you to know that whatever challenge God gives you, you can do it. Look at me. I feel like I've been through hell, the place I moved from. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to trash anybody. But I'm honest enough. I was sent there to spread my light. And when things began to attack me, it was time for me to leave. Because I love myself. That's all. You got to love yourself. You do. That is the key. Hey, Yokas, light workers, who am I talking to? I love you. I really, really do. Remember, sorry, my throat chakra is kind of freaked up. I'm still trying to get settled in my new space here, which is I would show you guys, but it's rather a mess. I'm still trying to get my act together. But I wish I could show you the beautiful mountains. Peace in the heart, peace in the home. Peace, love, and light. Shalom. Love always wins. Bye, babies.